watching from the corners. When I was a kid, I had this kind of weird obsession with people's houses. It sounds odd, I know. But I always wanted to just go into someone's house while no one was there and just look around. I didn't want to take anything. I wasn't a thief. But I just wanted to look at their stuff, see where they put their things, see if they like to keep their stuff the way I did, and just observe things without them being there. When people showed you their room or their collection or something, or take you somewhere that's special to them, they always get nervous that you'll judge them, and to me, it ruins the experience. I want to observe things in their own purest form without someone standing behind me to hurry me along before I start judging them. I can remember wanting to go into people's houses from a very young age. We would be driving somewhere on a trip, or I would see an unfamiliar house and wonder what is in there and what's it like. Do they have a cupboard full of mugs like Mom did? Was there a ashtray in the living room with buds in it? What color was their furniture? Did they collect knickknacks? I would create these little houses in my mind, basically slobbering of the exterior, and would never get any closer to how right or wrong I had been. I still feel that way, and I still want to look, but I'm wiser now. When I wonder now, I remember what happened when I was 11 and know better not to go snooping. When I was 11, I found a house with the door open. I didn't set out to find a house, of course. I wasn't casing the neighborhood opace. I didn't say looking around. I wasn't looking around the neighborhood for a nice house to go in seeking. I was just on my way home from the corner store and with my mom's cigarettes. We live in a small town, and Mom had brought a pack of Virginal Slims at the corner store every day for a long time, as long as I can remember. The lady at the corner store, Miss Beckley, had known me since I was all blop short overalls, and she knew I was more likely to get my hands on a fire than smoke one of Mom's cigarettes. So when I put my Skittles and Yahoo on the counter and asked her for a pack of Virginal Slim Long Medals, please, she put them on the paper bag along with the charge from the 10 Mom had given me. "Tell your mom I said hi," she said, the bell over the door clinking happily as I said I would, and took my leave. The trip home was about 10 minutes by foot, and I had drunk the Yahoo by 45 seconds. Into the walk, I tossed it into someone's trash can, 'cause I was in a little bug, and I had just torn open the bag of Skittles when my eyes found something I couldn't remember ever seeing before. I had walked this road thousands of times, practically, and rode my bike up its half by many. And as I turned to look at the house, I don't think I've ever seen it before in all that time. It was a fluorescent blue with that weird bubble sparkle on the texture of the time. It had little squares, windows, and big metal and big metal walls over each to keep the light in a minimum. The grass was little tall in the yard, but not unkept. This was Georgia, after all, and if it rained more than twice after you cut it, you have to cut it again. There was no car in the yard. The whole place just looked very abandoned. The door was wide open. I stopped with my Skittles in my hand, thinking about that door and the idea of exploring a house with nobody in it. I had never been inside a house by myself that wasn't mine, and though I knew I shouldn't, I just couldn't imagine another opportunity like this. This could be my only chance, my 11-year-old brain told me. I might never take advantage. Well, I could. Its farther said. I took a step off the road towards the door, then another, and another, and before I knew it, I was in the yard with the tall, sticky tops of the seed plants rubbing my legs. I looked at the door like it might have suddenly slammed shut, but every step that it stayed open, I felt a little more confident that I was making the right decision. I peeked inside and found an empty living room with the TV playing. The light coming in through the windows was enough to show me the Delosy living room, but I could tell that it would be dark in here after the sun went down. The TV was playing a commercial for dog food, and the light on the screen made me hesitant to enter. Just a quick look in the living room, I told myself. If someone comes back from the bathroom or something and finds me here, I can just say that the door was open and I was worried. That's a thing a good neighbor would do, all right? And so I started quickly looking around the small square front room. A mustard yellow couch took up the whole wall, and it was very prickly. It looked like my grandma had her quote-unquote receiving room, end of quotes. It was a scattered throw toss, but the back of it, to really bring it together, there was a drawer of it in the couch too, right in front of the TV. It appeared that someone had spent a lot of time making it. On the wall closet to the kitchen was a flimsy bookshelf that held some magazines and paperbacks on the bottom of the middle shelf, and a bunch of those weird-looking figurines on the topmost shelf. I think they were called, quote-unquote, precious monuments, end of quotes, figures. And whoever lived here had about 15 of them. That's what I could see. They had set the ones with animals in them at the front door, and I wondered if that was why they liked them best. They all looked chipped, and the kids they described looked discolored with age or old cigarette smoke.